Hello, welcome to Hankins Custom Rifles. Today is March the 15th, 2015, and we've got another muzzleloader we're going to test fire today. This is another Remington Ultimate Muzzleloader that was originally a 50 caliber. We've replaced a barrel with a 45 caliber Brooks 1 in 20 twist. It's pretty much a straight out Remington 700 with a muzzleloader barrel on it with a breech plug put in it. Some primer modules that I make that holds the large rifle magnum primers. Mounted on top of this gun is a little Leopold 2x7x33. It's the little VX model. Pretty nice little scope here, and I've got a chronograph set up. We're going to see if we can't get some speed readings on this today. I bought that chronograph in 1999, and it has read literally probably thousands of shots across it, and sometimes it'll work good and sometimes it won't. It just depends on how the sun's shining down, and sun's starting to go down over here on us, so it just depends on how it goes through there whether or not we'll get good speed readings. But I've got the gun bore sighted and we're ready to shoot it. Now this is Remington's laminated wood stock model. They offer this muzzleloader in two versions. They got Bell & Carlson stock, and then they've got the laminated wood stock. I like the laminated wood stock myself, especially for a hunting rifle. It feels good, it shoulders good, it pulls up nice. You can get up there and get on your target. It seems to me like a little faster if you're wanting to build a hunting rifle. Now this gun, we cut the barrel at 26 inches, and it's my standard contour, but we cut it down to 26, and we fluted this barrel here at the shop. So we're going to load it up and do some test fires with this gun. We're starting out with my standard load, 78 grains of 4198. We'll go ahead and load that in there. Get us a bullet to go in. Now this is a brand new barrel, never been fired. Parker bullets. This is the 275 grain BE. My favorite bullet for the muzzle loaders. They shoot good, they swell up and in the barrel good, and you just can't get much better bullet than that 275 BE. And they're a little expensive, but if your ultimate goal is to shoot your tightest groups, you got to shoot good quality bullets. So let's see what we can do with this gun with a little 7 power scope on it. I've got it turned up to 7 power. I've got the chronograph set up. It's ready to read the speed. We got 3,085 feet per second right there. That could be 3,086 feet per second. I've got one of the numbers are missing, or it could be 3,083, depending on how you look at that last number there. Like I said, this thing's pretty old, but it still works pretty good. I'm going to call it 3,085. We'll just round that off there. 3,085 feet per second out of a 26-inch barrel. Let's load it up again and see what we got. Oh, by the way, it hit the bullseye, so I'm not even going to adjust the scope. It's bore sighted. I got lucky that time. Sometimes you can get right on it. Sometimes you're a couple inches away. So let's shoot this again. Round number 2. And by the way, I'm using Federal large rifle magnum primers in the blue box, these right here. And you just open the bolt and pull the primer holder out. There's no sticking of the primers, there's no bulge primers. You don't have to fiddle around with a tool to pull the primer off. of the bolt face. It'll come right out. Shot number 2. $3,061. That's right at $3,061. And the crosshairs in this reticle are pretty heavy. This is a hunting scope made to get on the target quick. It's not a target scope at all. It's made to just find the animal, get on it, and pull your trigger. So the crosshairs, the reticle in there is actually bigger than the orange dot. So it covers up the entire orange dot. So you can't really expect to shoot half-inch groups with a scope like this, although we've got 2 down there so far that's a ½ inch. Take your primer out. You put these little primer modules in your pocket. You save those and reprime them when you get back home. Shot number 3. $3,083. $3,083. That's coming out of a 26-inch barrel. And I did drop that shot some. Looks like I might have dropped it out 1.5 inches. And it went low. This would be a nice little tree stand gun or ground blind gun. It's fairly short and compact. Here we go with shot number 4. $3,057. $3,057. We got 4 shots down the tube. Let's go with number 5. This will be shot number 5. Okay, we got 5 shots down there, and that one went 3,062 feet per second. We got 5 shots down there in a group that's about, oh, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inches. The last 3 are actually touching each other, and the first 2 are to the right. So It's not too bad. Definitely not bad with a little 7-power scope. But what I want to do now is, the guy I built this gun for, his name's Bob. And he's an old man. He told me that he wanted this gun to deer hunt with. And more than likely he was never going to shoot more than 150 yards. And he wanted to know if the gun would shoot less than 78 grains of gunpowder. And I said, well, Bob, I really don't know, because I never shot less than 78 grains, really. Maybe it's about 70 sometimes. But I've never went any lower than 70 grains with a 275 grain bullet. He asked me if he could shoot 55 grains out of it. And I said, Bob, I don't know. I've never shot 55 grains. But I'm going to shoot 55 grains today for you, Bob, just to see what happens here. We're going to check the velocities on it. And now Bob's going to shoot Bob Parker's bullets, the 250 grain Hydrocons. He don't want them to go over 2,200 feet per second. So we're going to shoot a 275 grain bullet, because I don't have any 250s. We're going to shoot a 275 with 55 grains of IMR 4198, just to see what kind of velocity we get. The Hydrocons Bob Parker makes are not made to be shot over, I think 2,500 feet per second is the maximum that you want to shoot those at. So if Bob, the guy that owns this rifle, shoots them at 22, he'll be in good shape. Let's put us a new primer in here. Safety's on. Let's see what kind of velocity we get with 55 grains. .2563, 2,563 feet per second with 55 grains. So we're a little bit over Bob's wish, I should say, what he wants it to shoot. So all we have to do is drop the powder charge down, maybe try 50 grains. But we're going to shoot 5 of these. See how easy that bullet went down in there. We're going to shoot 5 for velocity average. See what we can come up with. 55 grains. $25.44. $25.44. $25.76. 25.72. And this here will be the last time we shoot Bob's gun. And shot number 5. .25.70. 25.70. All right, guys, we're going to run out there to the target real quick and take a look at those groups and see what we've got. Okay, guys, we ran down here to the target. We just got done shooting this with Bob's rifle. This was the first group of bullets that I shot with 78 grains of 41.98. These two over here was the first two, and then it looks like that scope settled in, and we got a 3-shot group over here, Cloverleaf. These are all 3 touching. So we got a speed reading on all these shots, and our average out of 5 shots was 3,069 feet per second with a total extreme spread of 28 feet per second. So we had a 3,085 for the fastest and a 3,057 for the slowest. So that makes 28 feet per second difference between the two. Now, the little experiment that we did for Bob, shooting 55 grains of the IMR 41.98, I aimed at this dot here, so you can see the group dropped a little bit at 500 feet per second difference in speed. We've dropped, it looks like about 2 inches, maybe 2.5 on an average. But there's a 5-shot group right there, 2 in that hole. Here's the other 3. Total for that group, it's as tight as it is for the total of this group. So I'm going to say that measures 1.25 inches. We had average speed of 2,565 feet per second, with the fastest being 25.76 and the slowest being 25.44, with an extreme spread of 32 feet per second. So that ain't too bad. I didn't let that barrel cool down. We didn't do no cleaning between shots. Brand new barrel. Just load it and shoot it. Load it and shoot it. No foul shots. No nothing. Out of the box and shoot it. So here we go. And what we're going to do now is go down to the shop there and pack this rifle up and get it shipped off to old Bob, because I know he's been waiting on it. He's anxious as he can be. So let's get it shipped. And until next time, y'all have a great day and great shooting.